So PlayStation just shot themselves in the foot again. Already coming off of, we're just going to go through this chronologically, kind of. So starting off the chronological order of PlayStation just shooting themselves in both feet, and then digging a hole, and putting salt in that hole, and then just jumping around in it. So, first up, the Grand Theft Auto 6 pre-orders. It was notified, I think, from Sony, or PlayStation. I don't know if this is from both PlayStation and Xbox, but I've seen PlayStation mainly talk about it more, to where the GTA 6 pre-orders are only digital and digital. And what I mean by that is, on the stores, it'll be $80. In GameStop, it'll be $80, but they're both digital. You want to know why? The GTA 6 case will have the case and a download card, no disc. And when people say, oh, well, a 200 gig game can't fit on a disc, blah, 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 they want to start that shit. I'm an Xbox person, so I don't know how it worked on PS3 or 4, but for 360, multiple games in my collection that have download discs and play discs, or they have a single player and a multiplayer disc. There have been multiple games that have done that for bigger sized games. That is a possibility to do it. And PlayStation is no stranger to this, because a lot of their early games on the PlayStation have multiple discs. I know of a good chunk that I've sold personally. I sold Parasite Eve. That was a 2-disc game. People are talking about Final Fantasy. I'm not a Final Fantasy person, but they're saying some of those had 4 to 6 discs. I see PC games and PlayStation games that, like the older ones, that have them. I've seen some PS2 games that have like a 2-disc set. So they're no stranger to this. Already that's not good. And then, they just announced last week that, or about a week or so ago, whatever movie distributing thing they deal with for buying movies on the PlayStation Network, that is up. So 500 movies will be going away, plus. So that's not good. So that means, hey, you paid for a movie? Too bad. You don't get it anymore. Now they want to dig the hole and pour salt in it and jump on the salt by saying now, starting January 2028, all new PS5 consoles, starting from then, and future consoles from Sony, like PS6, etc., will only be digital. No disc drive, no physical copies of games being produced from them anymore. Now, this is a sad day for obviously a lot of Sony riders, Sony PlayStation glazers will defend it, or like just hardcore fans that don't glaze them are gonna probably be upset about this, and rightfully so. But in just physical media preservation, and like as that, this is awful. Because that means a lot of these games, if they're too stupid to see how big of a fuck up this is, and don't fix it, a lot of those are at risk to being lost. Like what happened last year, or a couple years ago, with the Xbox 360 store. A lot of the indie arcade games that were made on the 360 that you didn't buy are gone now. There's like 90% no way of playing them unless you already have them or know how to do it. And not only that, this is probably going to be a big hit to some game stores, and not just talking about GameStop, like your mom and pop stores that like people buy a lot of stuff at. Like near me, I know 3 like retro game stores. They're like secondhand game stores, basically. I call them that because retro game store seems weird when they carry new stuff too. But it's like, that's a big market just taken right out from under them when the time comes for it. And it's just nuts. Now, I do know that Xbox said something crazy about their new console, the Project Helix thing. That just came out a couple hours ago, and I have not had time to either fully look into it or process it. But I've seen 2 or 3 different countering things that kind of just make the other one a false. So I want to be 100% sure before I talk about that. But this has been around all day, and goddamn, people are pissed. People have been canceling their PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Network subscriptions, whatever it's called. I've seen at least 100, 200 posts of that shit. And a lot of people are, like, obviously royally pissed, as they should be, because not only is this just a console being stupid, this is, like, a big problem for physical media and physical media preservation. Now, there's probably a lot of other people that have talked about this more and know a lot more in depth about it than I would, or just do your own research, but I would say 100% let PlayStation, let Sony know how you feel about this. Like, post on Twitter, post on Instagram, wherever you can, to just start dogpiling them bitches. Let them know they fucked up majorly. I think it's like, you can't be nice about it anymore. It's like, you gotta dogpile them sons of bitches. Let them know how bad they're fucking up with this. Because maybe if there's enough pushback, they might backtrack, but you never know. That's all I'll talk about today. I didn't really have a script. I just kind of wanted to let out and just holler for a minute. So, yeah. What are your thoughts? See you later.